The Miami Dolphins have been aggressive in the early stages of free agency, making a series of moves to strengthen the roster. But even with all the new additions, the work is far from over. Holes remain, big ones, and the clock is ticking. This is the stage where every decision carries weight, where each move must be made with purpose. And right now, two glaring needs demand attention: the interior defensive line and the cornerback position. These aren't just minor concerns. These are problems that could define the team's success or failure in the upcoming season. Let's start with what the Dolphins have done so far. They addressed the backup quarterback position by signing Zach Wilson. It's an interesting decision, one that comes with both intrigue and uncertainty. Wilson's time with the Jets was a disaster, to put it mildly. His development stalled, his confidence wavered, and his departure felt inevitable. But talent isn't the issue. He still has the arm strength, the mobility, the tools that made him a top draft pick. The question is whether Miami's coaching staff can find a way to unlock his potential. If they can, he could become a valuable insurance policy behind Tua Tagovailoa. If they can't, he's just another name in the long list of quarterbacks who couldn't live up to expectations. On offense, the Dolphins have taken steps to ensure the unit remains explosive. Bringing in running back Alexander Mattison gives them a more physical presence in the backfield. Mattison isn't flashy, but he's tough, reliable, and capable of handling short-yardage situations, something Miami lacked at times last season. He won't replace Raheem Mostert or Devon Achane, but he doesn't have to. His role is clear: be the guy who gets the hard yards when the speedsters can't. The offensive line, an area that has been inconsistent in recent years, also got reinforcements. Signing James Daniels was a crucial move, giving the Dolphins a legitimate starting guard who brings experience and toughness. Daniels has played both center and guard in his career, making him a versatile asset. His presence should help solidify a unit that struggled with injuries and inconsistency. Along with Daniels, Miami added tackle Larry Borom, another depth piece, who could prove valuable over the course of a long season. Protecting Tagovailoa has to be a top priority, and these moves indicate that the front office recognizes that reality. The receiving core got a boost as well with the signing of Nick Westbrook-Ikine. While he isn't a star, he's a capable third option behind Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Miami's offense thrives on speed and playmaking, and having another reliable target can only help. Defensively, the Dolphins brought in Ifeatu Melifonwu, a versatile piece for the secondary. Melifonwu has experience playing both cornerback and safety, giving the Dolphins some flexibility. But while his signing adds depth, it doesn't solve the bigger issue at cornerback. The team also retained starting linebacker Tyrel Dodson, ensuring some continuity in the middle of the defense. Now, let's talk about what hasn't been addressed. The interior defensive line remains a major concern. Right now, the only move Miami has made at defensive tackle is re-signing Matt Dickerson. That's not enough. 3 of last season's key contributors, Benito Jones, Deshaun Hand, and Calais Campbell, are all free agents, and Hand has already signed with the Chargers. That leaves a massive void in the middle of the defense. Campbell is the biggest name still out there, but his future remains uncertain. He's 38 years old, and while he proved last season that he can still play at a high level, he has to decide if he wants to keep going. If he does, the Dolphins would be wise to bring him back. But they won't be the only team interested. When a player of Campbell's caliber is still performing at this stage of his career, he has options. If Miami want him back, they'll need to make a competitive offer and hope he chooses them over other suitors. If the Dolphins don't address the defensive tackle position in free agency, the draft becomes their best bet, but that comes with risks. Michigan's Mason Graham is one of the top prospects at the position, but there's a good chance he'll be gone by the time Miami picks at number 13. If that happens, the Dolphins will have to look at other options. Players like Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, Darius Alexander, and Joshua Farmer. Any of these prospects could develop into solid contributors, but drafting a rookie and expecting him to immediately solve a major problem is always a gamble. The free agent market for defensive tackles isn't particularly strong at this point. It's mostly filled with rotational players, rather than instant starters. 3 former Dolphins, John Jenkins, Raekwon Davis, and Jordan Phillips, are still available, but none of them are long-term solutions. Davis, in particular, carries concerns after being cut by the Colts with a non-football illness designation. His high blood pressure issue kept him off the field for part of last year's training camp, and it's unclear how that will impact his ability to contribute moving forward. Other options include Mike Pennell, who had a productive season with the Chiefs, and Austin Johnson, a veteran with experience in Buffalo. But none of these players represent a surefire answer.